Hey, welcome back to Teen TV Deep Dive. I'm your host, Alyssa, and here on this podcast, we talk about all things teen TV. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different, and so instead of doing a particular deep dive into just one show, we're just going to have one overarching theme and have a couple characters from a couple different shows that I feel like really fit the mold. So today we're going to be talking about TV's top 10 most chaotic teen TV characters. So all the characters that bring all the drama, the emotions, whether it's for the good or the bad, I'm going to be ranking them. And it's going to be about my personal opinion. If you want to comment down below some of your favorite chaotic teen TV characters or your own rankings from the characters that I named today, feel free to. But today we're going to get right into it. So for number 10, I feel like the least messiest but still kind of chaotic character would be Victor Salazar from the show Love, Victor. He's very subtle with it. I feel like it's almost kind of nuanced with how chaotic that he is, but I know for a fact he loved how all the boys were like going crazy over him and fighting over him, but he kept it classy. He didn't try and really relic in how everybody wanted him, but you could tell he still enjoyed it. And so for that, I would say Victor is 10. Not too bad, but he did cause a ruckus though. For number 9, I feel like it would be Elena Gilbert from The Vampire Diaries. And the main premise of the show is how she drove two brothers against each other. She had this love triangle between the two of them that lasted for a really long time, honestly. And she was low key self involved. I feel like with her friends, Bonnie and Caroline, they also had their own struggles and relationships, breakups, and all the same arcs and character growth that Elena had dealt with herself. But it just seemed like Elena did not care about her friends and what they had going on. And even there's a whole season, I think it was season 7, where Elena did not appear at all, yet she was brought up constantly, which I like. You feel like it's iconic, but you could just tell how much the show revolved around her. So I don't necessarily know if she was just being used as a plot device to kind of create problems and conflict for the show to kind of explore and discover, or if Elena was just really that chaotic and she caused problems herself. I don't know, but that's why I feel like she's number 9. Next, I feel like it should be Marissa Cooper from the OC. Oh my gosh. She wanted to be the main character so badly. Like, there was always a new phase with her, a new problem. It was always something. And y'all know I love teen TV drama. I love a messy show. But with Marissa, I was just kind of getting annoyed. Whenever she came up on the screen and she was complaining about this problem that she had, her feelings, I was like, oh my gosh, what now, Marissa? It was just always something with her. And it got really annoying. I feel like if she could have had her own spin-off show that I probably wouldn't have even watched, so that she could be the main character and everything could be centered around her, I feel like that would have been great for Marissa. So I rank her number 8. Moving on, we're going to talk about Lucas from One Tree Hill. I know this might seem a little bit controversial or kind of unpopular, but I do think that Lucas could have been chaotic if you want to think about it like that. Because while he was always heartbroken and sad over a previous relationship, he stayed with a girlfriend. He would be sad about Brooke, like, oh my gosh, I lost Brooke. She's the best girlfriend I ever had, blah, 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 blah. Next episode, he's kissing Peyton. Like, okay. It just did not give what it was supposed to give. He was supposed to be like this emotional kind of tortured soul that he was supposed to be low key and mysterious, but it honestly just made the love triangles or all the relationship problems that he went through even worse because of how he tried to play it off like he was a super sensitive and soft guy, but he's really not. And while I do feel like Lucas definitely was a chaotic character, I still feel like he fell flat in the personality department. And what I will say with the messy character, with the chaotic character, they will always get a pass from me if they're entertaining. I love to be entertained. So if you're chaotic and you cause a lot of drama, honestly, it's okay with me if you have the personality. And for me, Lucas did not, so he fell a little bit lower on my list. Moving on, for number 6, we have Rue from Euphoria. And Rue is such a delicate character for me when I talk about her because she is so chaotic, so much drama. She's always into something. It's always a problem that she's dealing with on the show Euphoria. And she could just never get it together. As many times as people tried to support her and kind of guide her back onto a more positive path in her life, she did not want to stay on it. But for some reason, I do still continue to root for her. Every time she makes a mistake, I'm like, come on, Root. Like, I know you can do better than this. And I'm really rooting for her just to do better in her life. So I really am intrigued to see what's in store for her character in season 3 of Euphoria. I'm definitely really looking forward to that. But Rue is just one of those characters where it's touchy for me. And she was also low key nosy. Looking back, all the background drama that characters had that were kind of low key, they were minor conflicts throughout the show. Rue peeped all of it. She peeped a lot of things when she would be rolling through town on her little bike. She was low key catching a lot of stuff, and I feel like that adds to her chaoticness of the show and also just her rebelliousness that she had. She didn't really try and follow the status quo of the show, even though I know everyone was kind of outcast in Euphoria, but she still was an outcast of the outcast, I feel like, if that makes sense. And overall, that's why I feel like Rue should just be in spot number 6. Moving on, we have a more classic character. We're going to be talking about Regina George. I feel like she's at number 5 from the movie Mean Girls. Because the way that she tormented everyone in her school just to be popular. And she did it with ease too. It wasn't even like it stressed her out. She did it with ease. And she was overall just very sneaky and conniving. She really worked. She basically networked, honestly, for all this power and connection. The way that she would plant rumors at a specific time because she know it would boil up into some big drama, or how she instantly sought Katie out when she first arrived at their school to make sure that she would be friends with her and fit into her group to basically make her not a threat that Regina had found her to be. And also her beef with Janice. Janice was not one to be easily shaken or to be scared off. And the way that Regina held her own in that was honestly kind of showed how tough she was. Regina is still an icon to me personally when it comes to teen TV and just the Mean Girls movie in general. And Regina definitely did bring that chaos element to the movie. And I think her character is just so important to teen TV as a whole. So I definitely do feel like she's at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Amory from Heartbreak High. She was really delusional and always wrapped up in her own problems. I feel like she had this dream world kind of going on where everything would work out perfectly, but that was not it. And she did not really care to try and fix it and adjust that kind of dissonance that she was having with her imagination and what was actually going on right in front of her. And you can tell my girl Emery never used her critical thinking skills or not even basic problem solving skills. And if she did, I truly believe that that would solve so many of the problems and just conflicts that she had with other characters on the show, because Emery did not think. She would just do. And I think if she thought a little bit more about how her actions would affect other people and kind of the consequences that would follow the things that she did or said, she would have been like, oh no, that's wrong. I shouldn't do that. And Amory honestly had this obsession to always be right. Whenever she was having a problem with a friend, she never really considered, like, wow, what I did made them feel bad. What, regardless if I thought it was for their benefit or if I had the best intentions at heart, it made them feel away. And so I'm apologizing because I wasn't trying to hurt their feelings. Instead, Amory was just like, well, I'm right. Where I didn't have those bad intentions that you think I did, so I don't need to apologize to you. And I feel like that just added to the boiling pot of just all the problems that happened on the show because every character kind of had beef or like a problem with another character. And Amory, just with all of her things that she brings to the show, made it even worse. Now we're moving on to the top three. We have three left. We're going to be talking about some really messy characters, but it's okay though. Coming in at number three, I feel like it should be Rachel Berry from Glee. She was too thirsty for power. And when I say this, I have a particular moment in mind from the show that makes me want to say this. But basically, in season two, there was a new character that wanted to audition for the Glee Club. She was really talented, and Rachel got jealous because she's seen a lot of herself in this girl, and she was like, "Wow, I'm threatened. She could kind of be my competition." So Rachel sent the girl off to this terrible place, saying that, "Oh yeah, that's where the Glee Club auditions are at. You should totally go." And the girl ended up missing her auditions so that Rachel could protect herself in her spot as the quote unquote star of the Glee Club. I feel like it's not that serious. Like, girl, it's high school Glee Club. She could have shared the spotlight. It wouldn't have hurt her. And with Rachel, I feel like she's a little bit different from the other characters that I've been talking about when I say that they're selfish or self involved. But Rachel, she was all about Rachel, but at the same time, she also wanted every single other person to be all about Rachel as well. And it was very annoying at times. And Rachel was definitely the biggest problem, I think, with Glee Club. Did everybody else have their problems and kind of butt heads at moments? They did. But it was a kind of a common consensus that Rachel was the start to a lot of the problems that they had. Moving on to number two, most chaotic teen TV character is Bella Malhotra from the X Lives of College Girls. I can't say the real name, but you guys know the show that I'm talking about. Bella was all over the place, but I do love her for it. She was really funny, and her original intentions of going to college for the absolute wrong reasons. She did not really care about her education or a major or honestly a viable career choice after college. She mainly just went because she wanted to have fun, but also so that she could be a part of this comedy group called the Cotillion at her school. And Bella being worried about the wrong things and kind of being fun and chaotic and all over the place, like I've already said, ended up coming back to bite her in the butt. But what I do kind of love about Bella and her chaoticness is that it became a part of her character arc and just her growth as a character on the show. So we kind of see that she starts off, she's like a tornado when she comes into the show at first, but then over time, you kind of see her develop. And while she's still that really vibrant personality and someone who likes to live out loud, there's still that slight chaotic element to her, but there's also a lot more maturity and understanding about her. So that's why I feel like she should be the second most chaotic character because while she was really messy, I still just appreciated her growth as well, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the number one most chaotic teen TV character, in my opinion, is Cassie from Euphoria. And I have so many opinions about Cassie and everything that she's done. Honestly, I can make a whole separate podcast episode just about her, but I'll keep it pretty brief though. Cassie she did not care. She was so boy crazy and so wrapped up in Nate. I could not. I could not. She would push her friends away. She literally tore apart her friendship. She was so rude to her mom and her sister and her family, all over this one big secret about a boy that did not care for her like that. And honestly, I would say with season 2, it was really Cassie and her actions that really drove the storyline because of all the mistakes that she was making. She was lying, going behind her friend's back, so many things. I do understand that there's a lot to Cassie and what's happened in her past that makes her like this today, but I still don't appreciate how purely chaotic she was. I feel like Cassie was chaotic for worse. I don't really think it was for the better, like how I named with other people. So yeah. Even though I do feel like Cassie deserved the number one spot, I did want to give a few honorable mentions that I don't really feel like made the list, but I still wanted to include them in this episode. I wanted to say Devi from Never Have I Ever. She did make everything about her, but her heart was always in the right place. Like, she wanted to be a good friend, but she also really wanted a boyfriend. And it was like she wanted to, if she could be everywhere all at once, I truly do feel like Devi would choose to do that, but she can't. And so she made a lot of mistakes that way. And Devi, I love her. Like, that's one of my favorite TV characters ever because of how chaotic she is, but also because of how much of a sweetheart she is. And I know she's truly trying to do what she feels is best at the moment. Honestly, like, there's nothing I could really ever hear or kind of reinterpret uh the show to ever feel like I would not like Davy. I wouldn't. Another honorable mention I would have to say would be Sue Sylvester from Glee. While she's technically not depicted as a teenager herself, I feel like she was chaotic. She wasn't even messy, honestly. She was just a lot. She would constantly bully students and teachers alike, and she had this vision that she had for her cheer team, and she did not play about it. Sue is also one of my favorite characters. If you guys can't tell, I love the messy characters um of all time, just because how she's so authentically herself. And I know she's not the best person, but just the way that she expresses herself so freely is kind of a good message, honestly, I think. If you enjoyed today's episode, you should comment down below what your favorite chaotic teen TV character is, as well as to give this video a like and to be sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on my other social medias, both on Instagram and Facebook, at Teen TV Deep Dive Podcast, to follow for more. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Bye!